The hippo sinks beneath the river, then rises with water streaming from the deep folds of its skin. For a moment, only its eyes, ears, and nostrils remain above the surface. Then the enormous animal moves through the shallows, dragging its body against the muddy bank. Water cools its skin. Mud coats its sides. Rubbing against rough surfaces may provide temporary relief, but not every part of its body is easy to reach. On a nearby rock, a small brown bird is watching. Its red bill points toward the hippo. Its body is tiny beside an animal powerful enough to crush it with a single movement. The bird waits as the hippo shifts its weight. Then the oxpecker flies. It crosses the short distance and lands on the broad back of the giant. Its claws grip the uneven surface. Beneath it, the hippo continues breathing. It does not shake the bird away. The oxpecker takes its first steps. It hops across the wet skin, lowering its bill toward one fold and then another. It searches around the shoulders, the back, and the deeper creases near the neck. For the bird, the hippo's body is a feeding ground. Skin folds can shelter small parasites and irritating insects. These places may be difficult for the hippo to inspect or reach by rubbing against the bank. What causes discomfort for the host may become food for the oxpecker. The bird moves quickly. It pauses, lowers its head, and probes between two folds. A moment later, it pulls back and continues along the skin. The hippo remains almost still. That stillness makes the encounter possible. The oxpecker cannot force its way onto an unwilling host. Its feeding opportunity depends on the much larger animal tolerating its presence. But tolerance does not necessarily mean friendship. The two animals do not need affection or gratitude. The interaction may continue for a simpler reason. Both can receive a possible advantage. The oxpecker gains food. The hippo may lose some of the organisms irritating its skin. Yet the relationship is not always perfectly balanced. An oxpecker searches for whatever food is available. Some of its feeding may benefit the host. Other contact may provide little relief. The result can depend on what the bird finds and how long the animal beneath it allows the search to continue. For now, the hippo allows it. The bird advances toward the neck, where the folds become deeper. Its head disappears briefly between two thick sections of skin. Only its back and tail remain visible. Then it emerges and moves sideways. The contrast between the two animals could hardly be greater. One is heavy enough to reshape the mud beneath its feet. The other is carried by thin legs and a pair of wings. But size does not decide which animal is useful. The hippo's strength cannot help it examine every crease in its own body. The oxpecker's small size allows it to reach those hidden spaces. The bird is vulnerable, but it has access. The hippo is powerful, but it has limitations. This is where their apparent imbalance begins to change. As the oxpecker continues, the hippo makes a small adjustment and settles more firmly against the bank. The movement may simply be part of resting. Without closer evidence, its intention cannot be known. What can be observed is the result. The bird remains. The hippo does not drive it away. Only moments earlier, the oxpecker was watching from a distance. Now it is moving freely across one of the river's most powerful animals. The greatest challenge was not finding food. It was approaching safely. A sudden turn, a plunge beneath the water, or a violent shake could end the feeding attempt immediately. So the bird responds to every movement. When the hippo shifts, the oxpecker pauses. Its body lowers. Its feet tighten against the skin. When the surface becomes steady again, the search continues. Movement. Stillness. Inspection. A temporary rhythm forms between them. The hippo does not become harmless. and the oxpecker does not become fearless. Risk remains present throughout the encounter. That is what makes the tolerance remarkable. A peaceful moment in nature is not always the absence of danger. Sometimes, it is danger being held in balance. The oxpecker reaches another fold and lowers its bill once more. Every small organism it finds can provide energy. For the hippo, any benefit is less dramatic. There is no sudden transformation. The animal simply remains settled, while the bird searches places that water, mud, and rubbing may not fully reach. Eventually, the oxpecker raises its head. It looks toward the riverbank, opens its wings, and lifts away from the hippo's back. The encounter ends without ceremony. No promise is exchanged. No permanent bond is formed. The bird may return when another opportunity appears. What remains is a practical connection between two very different animals. One is enormous, powerful, and dangerous to approach. The other is small enough to reach the hidden places that strength cannot. Their relationship is not perfectly generous or always equal. But in the wild, cooperation does not always begin with trust. Sometimes, it begins when staying close becomes more useful than staying apart.